about to fit the breadboard. We got 8 tenons here. Everything has the purpose here. And this is called hinge, bridge, and tenons. The purpose of the bridge is to keep the board straight. Otherwise, if it was just a tenon, it will put too much stress on the tenons. So there's a still possibility that middle section could move more than the rest of it. So that was the purpose. I noticed that most of the people just put a tenon there and a square shoulder here without bridge. So, and then sometimes you just do a very small amount of tenon. In fact, I wouldn't call that tenon. So anyway, it's time to install this. Now, these are dowels that I put a square cap on it, because if I did a round cap dowel, the end grain would have sucked lots of moisture in it, and then eventually the season changing, this would have just dropped inside the hole. So that's why I put a cap there. And you're just going to put a glue here. You will glue here, glue there, and then glue nothing on the tenon. So the whole board here, it should move across the grain. Just a little bit glue, that's all. And also a little bit of glue on the bottom, not much. That's it. The reason is pride, because eventually I'm going to, once it's dry, I'm going to plane them and make them flush. Now we're going to go and start on the other end. That's 8, 9, 8, 7, 8. Let me double check this 8. Yes. That's it. Yep. That's it. The other one. The other one is exactly the same. Just want to elaborate on that movement, across the grain movement. See this slot here? So obviously, when this wood moves, and this top is going to move, this top is going to move that way and that way. So that movement, this slot is going to allow this top to move with the seasonal changes. And if you look at it here, that was what we did. We put a glue on this half-inch hole here, and then on this one here. So there is no glue in this middle section. So there is no bond between the top and then the dowel. So that means that it will be freely moving across the grain. Traditionally, well, actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, breadboard is a 16th century Tudor style. You will see lots of on the Tudor styles. And the reason they're called breadboard, then, because they used to cut the bread in the big kitchens at the end of the table. So they eventually, that board gets worn out, and they tap the pins out and take the breadboard and put a new one in. But since we don't do that kind of purpose anymore, the only purpose is for us to allow this whole top to move across the grain freely. If it gets stressed, it might break, it might fail. So that's the whole purpose. This is a sink opening. If I didn't put this breadboard in here, I would have been leaving very small amount end grain here, and it will be break very easily. Because can you imagine if I, like this piece of wood, I think it was going to leave this much space like that, it would be continuing like that, and it's a very weak, because it's end grain and also very short grain here. So that's why, considering that, basically is a two birds with one stone. Breadboard, it keeps it flat, nice, and then also the sink area, it's going to get lots of water, and having a short grain here, it would have been appropriate. So as I said, we kill two birds with one stone doing this way. Okay, this is 3, that's 4, and 1. That's it. Now I'm gonna plane these and then sand it ready for finish. Alright then.